What's going on, y'all? Seeley here. Today we are in Denver, Colorado. I'm at the studio waiting for my next shoot to come in. So I thought I'd address one of the most common questions I get all the time. And that question is, how do you deal with a jealous spouse? If you're like many photographers, your significant other may or may not be extremely thrilled with the idea of you photographing young females scantily clad, perhaps even nude. As creatives, oftentimes we feel a little bit insulted because we think that we are creating all this artistic stuff and how dare you tread on our art. The reality is, most photographers aren't shooting art. That word art is thrown around so easily. I'd say a large percentage of guys with cameras are shooting young girls just because they want to see young girls in their underwear. If that's you, hey, I don't judge, but you can't be surprised if your spouse doesn't really understand why you choose to do that. Let's talk about the photographers that actually shoots for money, for business. How do you address when your spouse does not approve with what you do, even if you're getting paid for it? This is one thing that I would have you think to yourself. How would you act or how would you feel if your spouse decided to go to school and invest a lot of money in tuition and on the gear and the supplies and all the things you need to be a massage therapist? What if they say, after their $10,000 of tuition, and then they buy, their massage table and the oils and the incense and the perfumes and the candles and the whatever you have in that industry? What if they put out posts on Instagram and Facebook saying, in search of young, attractive men for free massages? What happens if she was out every night at 7 p.m. until 11 p.m. every night, taking a couple bottles of wine or a bottle of vodka or tequila, whatever she drinks, and then goes out and then doesn't come back until late, and she has stories of massaging 5 random buff dudes? How would that make you feel? How would it make you feel if she did that for free and she never charged? Knowing that she spent all that money on the schooling and on the tables and all that stuff, or even if she went and charged, like $10. And then what if they had messages back and forth on Instagram saying, hey, I really enjoyed the massage. I really enjoyed massaging you. How would that make you feel? If you're not in this for business, it becomes a lot harder for you to justify spending all of your free time shooting young, scantily clad females. So do I have any tips on how you can get your spouse to be less jealous in that scenario? Not really, to be honest. Because if you're in it for fun, don't get me wrong, I think you should have fun shooting, but if you're not shooting for the right reasons, it's going to be tougher for you to convince them. Because logically, there's not very many reasons I could give which would make them believe me when I say that, hey, it's for the art. It's not. But if you're in this industry to try to make money, and you're trying to establish a brand, and you're trying to create something that is going to possibly replace your income, is this something that I could recommend? Absolutely. My recommendation number 1 is invite them on a shoot. When they see how much work is involved, they'll realize how much work is involved. When they see how you interact with the model, how professional the interaction is, they'll have a different opinion. When they see how the model is so nervous and doesn't know what to do, but your experience helps guide them into poses where they never knew they could do those things. When they see the back of the camera, when the model looks at the camera and says, oh my God, I can't believe that's me, and when they start tearing up, that's going to be another thing where the spouse is going to say, holy cow, you are really good at what you do. Is it possible that the jealous side is going to be jealous no matter what? Of course. If you're married to a crackhead, she's going to be a crackhead no matter what. I can't help you on that. But most, if there's trust, once they see what goes down in the studio, most are going to say, no, that's a lot of work, and you do a lot of good things. If you allow them to be a part of the process, have them there to assist with the styling, have them there to help adjust whenever there's a wardrobe malfunction, have them there to fluff the hair, to get the stray hairs off the shoulder, to adjust the bra strap if it's twisted. Have them give input. Ask them. I ask my wife all the time, what do you think about this image? And she would say, I like it, but I don't like it as much as that image. So them having a say in the final product is going to help out a ton. Many are going to enjoy being a part of the process. All in all, the biggest tip I'd have is don't hide what you're shooting. Don't be ashamed of what you've shot. If you're hiding stuff, that's on you. But if you show the gallery, if you show the images, if you shoot the same way with your spouse that you would without your spouse there, one, is going to make you look a lot more credible to your clients. Two, it's going to increase the amount of trust you have with your spouse, where they're not going to have these crazy ideas of what you might or might not be doing. And three, it's going to help establish your brand more. If you are one of the photographers that has a very supportive spouse who also plays a role at the shoots, I guarantee you that is going to help with your brand also. Now, if your spouse is just really crazy jealous, I can help you. Good luck. So for those of you who have spouses that may not really enjoy what you do, give this a shot. See what happens when they are allowed into your world. You might be surprised with how they react. If you have any tips on what helped you get your spouse to be a little bit more welcoming of what you do, please let everybody else know down in the comments. I'd love to see what worked for you. If you have any questions, leave me a message down below. And until next video, keep shooting.